because you get feedback doesn't mean that you're ready to receive it.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
And it's when you're ready to receive feedback, that's when the changes and the growth can happen. Because there's some manager that's listening to this right now. You've been getting feedback for the past few years and you haven't been listening.
Yeah.
And now it's the time to start listening, not that people are against you or they're trying to say things that can hurt you. How can you take the information that's coming to you and filter it through the lens of
Mhm.
how can I grow and how can this make me better?
Yeah. I- if you're somebody who's completely dedicated to your performance, often that tends to mean a lot of what I call write channel activity and not a lot of read channel activity, right? And so we tend to do a lot of that as somebody who are dedicated to our performance. We tend to be, some of us are very type A. We go and actually one of the hardest behaviors for somebody who is very much like that is to just to kind of build on your point, James, is to step back and say, listen, high performance means high learning. And high learning is something that we've all started to do in software engineering for many, many years. We moved into tight iterative loops, away from waterfall development, a few years ago. Doing that in your own leadership is something that's also really important. And so the more I can encourage people to take a more agile approach to their leadership, I think the more that you will find that you're starting to grow and track up and run the retros you need to be able to be good.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And so, in addition to agile leadership,
Mhm.
what are some other practical takeaways that you would suggest listeners take?
Yeah. I think you have to find your own way to reflect and create space for it. For me, writing and journaling helps me because I have a writerly history. And so it's easy for me to go, oh, I'm going to spend some time doing that. But other people might want to use a chatbot as a journal. That's a way to do it. Other people may want to go and work with a coach, somebody who can help them sort of expose some of the stuff that's important to them. I think you just need to find room and space to reflect. Talk to your friends, and there are lots of different ways to go and process the stuff that you're picking up. And don't be afraid to work out, am I a verbal processor? Am I an internal processor? How am I going to process? What's the best way to do it? I think everyone has their own way. So I would suggest everyone create space for that. I would also say, um, find time and space to make sure you're able to do the things that are important outside of work because they will help you with all the things that you bring into your leadership at work. And in this world where AI in general is becoming more and more prevalent, is going to do a lot of the, again, small t technical work, a lot of the routing of project work and sort of even writing some of the code for us, all those things, focusing more on how I as a full person can improve things like my judgment, my moral and ethical reasoning, my discernment, my taste. All those things are going to become more important. My creativity, all those things are going to become more important in the future of work, I believe. And so continuing to spend time outside of work to refine and improve on those things and just have a life in which you become the person you want to be, that really helps, I think, in terms of your leadership. So it's all about that whole person, I think, is really important.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So, for someone who's listening to this and they want to reach out and connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah. You can you can email our entire team and we all read the emails.